The person I chose to interview for our Foodservice Management final project was Martin Raymaker of No Man's Land Pizza and Grill in Wilmette, Illinois. Martin and I started together back in January of 2010, and he and I worked together as just normal employees until he was brought up to assistant manager, in which I started working under him. From that point on, though, he and I had a very tight working work relationship, and from that relationship, he and I started a friendly banter of, what goes on in the industry, and he and I talked about things such as ordering and hiring employees and training employees, and just generally the attitude, the skills you needed to know, all that kind of stuff. We often talked about that as sort of a thing we shared in common. Martin is driven by his desire to own his own restaurant one day, and so at this point in his life, he trains himself constantly into finding out what are some of the best tactics he can use. He also just kind of works to be successful. I mean, he really has this mentality of loyalty to the business that he currently works for, and I never see him taking a day off, mentally or physically. He's always there, he's always engaged, he always cares about what the employees are doing, and making sure they're doing the right thing and getting work done. But Martin has this very calm demeanor about him. He never gets worked up about anything. He's very even-keeled, and when dealing with employees, it really helps sort of level the playing field, so to speak. That they may be getting extremely upset with him, but he's always, no matter who you are, no matter how you're handling him, he's always going to give you the same sort of general calm appearance, and it's very reassuring for a lot of people. He's also big into encouragement when you screw up. So something along the lines of getting an order wrong, it's always hey, you know what you did, but let's get the next one. Let's not stay down. And he's really big on making sure you don't dwell on things, because that can really hurt the business and the next orders from there on out. So he really has an eye for the bigger picture, and how one thing you say to somebody now can affect them an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours down the road. It can really help you guys. When Martin first started out, though, he was just like anybody else. I mean, he had problems with achieving all the tasks in a way that management thought it was a good job. They would come in and point to things that maybe weren't as clean as they would like it. Maybe something forgot to get done. Maybe there was, a small problem with one of the doors and the locks, stuff like that, where, you really have to pay attention to it. And I think over time, as he, gained more understanding of those responsibilities and really what was required of him, he started to shine. And that has led to where he is now. They think he's responsible enough, and he most definitely is, to run the entire restaurant by himself. He has an assistant manager, but to, really be in control of the restaurant, that takes a lot of trust, and they fully trust Martin to do that and to do a good job day in and day out. Martin's wisdom is very empathetic. He has this sort of understanding of what, of knowing what it's like to be in your shoes, and so, every time he says something that really sticks to me, it's always because it's rooted in empathy, and he has this undying sense of loyalty and dedication to his staff and making sure they're taken care of in his restaurant, which, he works very hard for. And, it's those kind of things that I think set Martin apart as to why he's such a great leader. I mean, it's hard to come across somebody in a position of power where they actually truly, are empathetic towards the people below them, where they can, look at them and really see that they're hurting and understand what that's like. and really, feel that pain for them. So I think that's, part of his wisdom is just feeling empathy for his staff, and treating them right and making sure they're taken care of, but at the same time making sure that when they're there, they're doing their job. I think Martin has shown me that if you really dedicate yourself to doing a good job day in and day out, and being responsible, that you can raise as high as you really want. And starting out as just a normal employee, he raised to an assistant manager, worked his tail off there, went through the transition stage, proved that he could be worth a general manager position, and now he's in control of the entire restaurant. He runs the show over there, and he's doing some really wonderful things. He's improving the menu, improving some of the way the food is prepped over there, and I think that they have a really bright future, and this is their highest grossing year yet. So all positives. Thank you for listening to this presentation, and thank you as well for the wonderful class.